Boys, we've been sent some football shirts from Mystery Football. Should we have a little look at what we've got?
Yeah, let's have a look. Let's have a look.
I'm excited. Here we go, what we're going to get. Straight off the bat, that is very nice. Wow. I've got Mexican team Xolos. It's unreal.
Argentina Premier B.
What team?
SFC.
Nice.
I've got this Turkish team, KSK.
Lovely.
Oh, that's nice. Let's have a little.
Decent, to be fair.
What are you saying about this one?
You know what? I think I'm liking Ken's more.
Can do a little swap.
Not bad.
Yeah, it's
All the
decent.
sponsors on. Look at the back.
Yeah, nice.
Outrageous. So if you want to grab yourself one of these unreal shirts, check out www.mysteryfootball.co.uk.
Welcome back to Ball Talk with me, Lewis Bryon, and today I'm with the usuals, footballer Ken Charles and presenter Noah Jones. Boys, all three of us big Arsenal fans, and we're going to start off by talking the Arsenal-Southampton match. It was a 3-1 win in the end, and then we're going to go on to giving our Premier League team of the season so far. Okay? Sound good?
Ready.
Yep.
Let's do it. So, listen, we made life difficult for ourselves again, didn't we? We had a changed lineup, and we went 1-0 down again to a lower team. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, it's fine. Obviously, we've got the 2 wins, but it's not filling me with the most confidence. I think the only thing that kind of makes me a bit happier is that it was a very changed lineup, which I guess a lot of injuries going on, tired legs.
That was needed, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was needed. Did need to switch it around, but you would then hope that your second team could just come in and beat Southampton fairly easily. But I don't know. It's a win. A win's a win, but I'm not buzzing about it.
Yeah, what was your thoughts, Ken?
I get what you're saying. I just think it's the Premier League, man. Like, as much as, you know, it's Southampton and you think they're going to be fighting to stay in the league, you can't just turn up and beat anyone. And the fact that you win 3-1 comfortably and we're like sitting here questioning whether that was comfortable or not shows we're in a good position, I think.
That's true.
It's because we went 1-0 down though. Again,
I guess
like
that
after
changes.
dominating
Yes,
the first
if
half.
you go 3-0 up and then they score 1, perhaps it's a different. Like, you're not as concerned because you go 1-0 down. It obviously changes the mood, but I mean, we came back comfortably. So, like you said, with the changes as well, I don't think there's any real reason to be concerned.
Yeah, I bet you weren't happy when you see Partey. He was right back, wasn't he?
Yeah. I mean, he
That's
tried
insane.
that at the start of last season, didn't he? It did not work.
This was obviously because
That just don't make sense though, does
this
it?
was probably just because of rotations, isn't it? Not because he wants to try that again.
But we had Tomiyasu was on the bench.
He was on the bench,
He's
but he
hardly
hasn't
played.
Yeah.
He's been injured, hasn't he? He's probably
He's
not
always
fit.
injured.
Yeah, okay.
I think he just about came back to training last week, so he probably just wasn't in a place to really start a game.
But that in my head is then like, right, you just bring one of the youngsters in for this game.
Yeah, a Partey right back is just a no-go for me.
Yeah. I agree, mate.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
I agree.
You don't like him in midfield.
I don't, exactly.
But we got rescued by Saka again, didn't we?
As always.
If you could call it rescued, but 2 assists, 2 good assists,
Yeah.
and a good finish at the end.
Yeah.
It seems like, I don't know, whenever another player is in good form, like Cole Palmer at the moment, or Phil Foden last year,
Yeah.
they're always compared to Saka, aren't they? He's the bar now, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's a standard, isn't he? Like, it says a lot about what he's doing, to be fair. Like, the fact that whenever someone else does well, it's like a straight comparison is Saka. The thing is, he's consistent, and he's been consistent for, this is probably his 3rd season at least of high performance, maybe even 4th. So it's normal that there's constant comparisons. So we're happy with him. He keeps doing what he's doing. Goals, assists every week. Like, he's pretty consistent. So
The assists were so good, man.
Yeah.
They were top.
He's got this. He can put it on a plate now,
Yeah.
can't he? He really can, and I think he's brought that into his game really well. And I think with Odegaard missing, and we've missed a bit of playmaking, he's just stepped up.
Yeah, he has.
He's doing unreal.
Yeah, I agree. And I feel like with what you were saying, Ken, because he's pretty much a consistent 8 out of 10, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But he's done that consistently for over 2 years now. And whenever other players, there might be a couple month period where other players are slightly above him, like probably Cole Palmer at the moment, just because outrageous form. But then if they drop off, it'll be another player then. But because he's so consistent, that's why
He's just always the bar.
he's compared to.
And we get told we overhype him, don't we? We have to.
Yeah.
Because as soon as he has a game where he doesn't get a goal or assist,
one game,
and he's the worst winger in the world, then when he scores, he gets 2 assists and a goal, we're going to say how good he is. And like you say, everyone is compared to him. Every young winger, attacking midfielder, it is always better than Saka. Why are you bringing Saka up? Why are you bringing him up?
Yeah.
He's that good.
No, the consistency can't be like, you can't sleep on that, because it's the reason why, you know, obviously he's loved at Arsenal. When it comes to England, he's one of the first names on the team sheet. It's because you can rely on him to, like you said, give you a 7, 8 out of 10 every single week. And that's one of the hardest things to do in football. Anyone can have one game where they score 3-4 goals, or like tear it up, but can you do it week in, week out, or at least get 1 goal, 1 assist week in, week out? It's so hard to do, and he makes it look easy.
Let's talk about Havertz. Okay, because that was a decent finish,
Very
wasn't
good,
it? That was Van Persie-esque. That's what it reminded me of. Is he starting to prove people wrong now, outside fans, even Arsenal fans, and prove Arteta's decision not to sign a striker right?
I think he is, because I think when he scores a header or a tap-in, like he does a lot, which we're fine with, by the way, everyone says, oh, that's all he ever scores. He's a donkey. He's still in Chelsea form. He scored that goal at the weekend. I didn't see one tweet. No, that's
Havertz
because he's doing exactly. That's because he's done well. And I think everyone has needed to see a finish like that from him to be like, oh, okay, maybe it's quite good. And the consistency is unreal. And I think I need to address this to people watching, because we get it in the comments. You can change your mind on players, right? Havertz wasn't great at Chelsea. That's fine. You can say that, but he's doing well now. Nicholas Jackson, in my opinion, I've said many times that he's not very good. He's now playing really well, so I've changed my mind. You can change your mind. Havertz is clearly a good player.
Yeah, for sure. Like, that's like saying any player that dips in and out of form, you can't, like, you've got to stay with your original opinion.
100%.
It just don't make sense, does it?
Yeah, Havertz, he's definitely starting to do the business. It shows, obviously, as well, as a player, if a manager trusts you and sticks by you and gives you that game time, eventually you sort of play yourself into confidence, and that's what he's doing. And on the flip side, it's why it's perhaps harsh to be really strict on perhaps a Sterling or a Jesus at the minute, who aren't getting minutes as much. Like, yes, obviously you still expect them to make the most or have an impact when they're on the pitch, but it's a completely different ballgame when you're playing week in, week out. You're building chemistry with your teammates. You're building your own confidence because you've got the trust of the manager, and that's what he's doing at the minute. I think
it's having a system in it that fits you, and it takes time to adapt to that. Yeah,
exactly. And that finish at the weekend was top. Yeah, but he's also got the centre forward goals, like the header the other week, the tap-ins. Like, he's becoming a very, very important part of Arsenal's team.
Yeah, very well-rounded striker he's becoming. I just like him to have a bit more ruthlessness, I don't know if that's the right word, quality on one-on-one situations.
Yeah, 100%.
Because he doesn't fill me with confidence with them.
Not at all. I think he has all the attributes of like an old school striker.
Yeah.
Like in the box.
With a modern twist.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
nice. Yeah. That's the title.
Yeah.
He's got,
old school striker with a modern...
Exactly.
Yeah.
Barclays, man.
Yeah.
He's got the strength, and it's the whole like fox in the box thing. He's always there, and his goal catalogue might not be unbelievable, but like you say, if he could just add that, his one-on-one ability, he could be a real top striker.
Yeah. I just want to see it from him for half a season, 3/4 of a season, a whole season.
Because I mean, it's been almost half a year now.
That's the problem. Yeah. Because it was at the back end of last season and now the start of this season, it might seem like it's not been that long. But if you go back end of last season plus the start of this season, it's starting to get to a point where it's about 20 games of consistency from him. If he can keep that form going and prove that it's not just form, but like that's who he is, then Arteta's probably got the decision right in the end.
Yeah, it's looking like that, isn't it? And I think he scored in his last 6 home games at the Emirates.
Like that.
Last 6 games at the Emirates.
He's 7. He's tied 7 with Van Persie now, yeah.
So he scored in the last 7. So that's no easy.
And he's like one goal or assist less than his total at Chelsea.
Yeah, half the games,
but in like 20 less games.
There you go. That just shows Arsenal vs Chelsea, doesn't it? Shows the levels.
I hope so.
Let's talk about Sterling, Jesus. You mentioned them. Listen, I feel a bit sorry for Jesus because he's come back from multiple injuries. He's shy of confidence, obviously, which takes a long time to build back. Yeah. And every time he comes on for, let's say, 20 minutes, half hour, or even less, he's having to play a different role in the team every week. Like, it's not like he's always coming on left wing and always asked to do it. He can't build no momentum in, like Havertz is up front, in the type of plays we need from him. It's chopping and changing, and it's so hard to do. So I think, like you said, people are harsh to criticise him, but that's not me saying he should we should give him that time.
Yeah.
We haven't got the luxury.
Football's ruthless. Like, in an ideal world for him, he'd be given the same amount of games Havertz got to build himself into form in one position every single week. And you give him, if you gave Jesus, I don't know, 10 games to play through the middle up front for Arsenal, come game 8, come game 9, he's going to start getting back into that form from the start of.
When we first signed him, he was unbelievable.
Unreal, unplayable.
That's the thing, he's teased us, hasn't he, with unbelievable.
But like you said,
the
injuries obviously set him back, and when you come back, you've got to build your fitness, you've got to build your confidence, and like you said, he's not even playing in the same position. It's difficult, but at the same time, like I just said, football's ruthless, so it's not like you can give him, he's not going to just be given those 10 games, like he's going to have to earn it one way or another.
Yeah, he's got to do it the hard way.
Yeah.
I think he's like that. I remember his first game, I think it was, playing up front for us at the first game of the season,
mad.
Palace away.
Madness,
and I've never been as shocked of how good he was, like so sharp.
Unreal.
Like that level he was at that game, I don't think Havertz could produce a performance like that.
No.
But he can obviously consistently keep something up over a long period of time, doing what Arteta wants him to do. But that's why it's frustrating with Jesus, because we know what he can do.
Yeah,
I think the injuries have been his biggest killer.
Of course,
because that just means Havertz has now played probably 30 plus games in a row or something like that, at least. Like, I don't know the exact number, but being available is a big part of being a top player. And if you can't play more than 10 games in a row, then it's going to have a massive impact on your form, and that's what keeps happening with Jesus. There's no doubt about his ability.
And I think us fans take it for granted how difficult, you mentioned it, how difficult it is to come back from injury.
Yeah,
it's not just like, I'm better now, I'm back in, I've scored.
No,
it doesn't work like that.
It's a mental game as well, as much as a physical.
More than anything.
Yeah, and like you say, if he's coming back from injury and then he's getting 10 minutes, 20 minutes, right mid, left mid, up front, do you know what I mean? You can't, you don't have the building blocks to grow from there. And yeah, he was so good at the start that I think we are just waiting for that again, but it's so hard to do. It
wouldn't surprise me if Arteta, if he goes soon, if I'm honest. Like, it really wouldn't, because that's like, he's got to be ruthless with. Look at Pep. He weren't fussed about letting go of Zinchenko, letting go of Jesus, letting go of Alvarez. Like players like that who you think are vital parts of the squad. You've got to be ruthless in the fact that, right, if they're not really on it, I can't allow them to the time to get back to their best form. They're out, I'm getting someone else in.
This season, his fitness this season will be key, because I think if he stays fit, he will play himself back into some sort of form where he becomes really important for us. If he's fit, absolutely. He's an unreal footballer. The biggest problem is if he gets injured again in a month's time and has to do the rebuild, the season will just come and go and he won't have done anything. And if that's the case, Arteta will have to be ruthless, like you said.
Yeah, I think he will. We need that Al Hilal bid, don't we, to come in the summer.
Give us that money, yeah. What are your thoughts on Sterling's impact so far?
It's not been a big impact, but I think
But you can see the style he brings, and for me, it's not the style I like at Arsenal. Like, even when he gets the ball, it's like a little too long on it. It's a little too many touches. Like, I don't know if that's just because it takes time to get used to a different style of play. Chelsea,
I think you've got to look at that as a massive thing. Look at how Chelsea have been playing for the last 2 years, and look at how we've been playing.
He's probably at Chelsea sort of do what he wants.
Yeah,
like,
100%.
Get the ball. If he wants to take 2-3 players on, go for it. If he wants to shoot, do it. And now he's in a system where we play a certain style, so he will have to adapt, and he hasn't played a lot of minutes to adapt. No, you don't just adapt.
I'm just going off what I've seen.
Yeah, no, obviously what we've seen, it's not been like nothing. He's not necessarily got us off our feet or anything, but I feel like you can't sleep on these players that what they can do on their day, and it's just the hope that we can't complain at having him part of the squad. Like, before deadline day, we were screaming saying that like we haven't got anyone. Like, having him there as an option that you can just start, in for example against Southampton,
for sure,
to rest Martinelli or to rest like other players. I'm not complaining about that.
And
does he become a starter for us? That's up to him.
We've only got him on loan as well.
Yeah,
I don't see us buying him.
My thing is, look how well Martinelli started.
Yeah.
Has it worked? The signing?
Exactly.
Was it right? You can be good cover because you're a good. He's still a good player.
Sometimes you actually can't win with fans. Like, we've signed a player on loan, like you said. He's come in on loan to help, basically give us more depth and more competition.
Yeah.
He's perhaps the one getting Martinelli back on his game, because Martinelli at one point probably felt he's just going to play regardless of his
100%.
Because as much as Trossard is banging on the door. He's not the same type of player at left wing as Martinelli.
It's clear who Arteta was having.
Yes, now he's got Sterling. He knows what Sterling's about, and Sterling and Martinelli aren't too different in terms of the pace, the liveliness. They're obviously very different footballers, but in terms of that side of it, he now knows that, okay, if I dip out of form, there's someone here hungry, because Sterling is hungry to get his career going again. Perhaps that's what
we know.
Perhaps that's what's getting the best out of Martinelli, and from a squad perspective, that's good. That's great for Arsenal. It's great for Arteta.
I agree. Boys, as footballers, do you wear grip socks?
Yeah, I do. I've always wore grip socks when I played, just to stop your foot sliding around in the boot. It makes a big difference compared to when you're wearing the standard long socks.
Yeah, for me, they help massively in like preventing blisters and stuff like that. So I'm a big fan.
I think blisters is a massive thing. I've found that on hard AstroTurf. These have been an absolute godsend. And these are Fit Knit grip socks. If you want to get your own, you can use code BT10 for 10% off. Head over there now and grab yourself some.
We'll obviously no Arsenal game coming up this weekend. Sad, international break for some reason again.
Great.
Yeah. We're really excited about that. But we'll go on to, what is it, 6 or 7 game weeks in we are now?
6 or 7, yeah,
around there. But we'll go to our Premier League team of the season so far. Okay, so
this.
Heavily biased on form. Okay, we're not just going the best Premier League players. Yeah. Okay, so I say we go, all give our keepers, all give our back four, or whatever formation you're playing, midfield attack. Yeah,
cool.
So who we got in goal?
I've got David Raya.
I've got Raya.
I've got Raya as well.
Oh, we can't.
No, but that one's not meant
being Arsenal fans already.
It's because it's the start. Like I'd like to think my team isn't too biased, but some of the saves he's put on, like, we're going on form.
Yeah.
I wouldn't sit here and say he's the best keeper in the league. He's up there, like he's in the conversation, but I wouldn't just say he's the best keeper in the league. But on form,
every game other than the Southampton game, saved us.
There's not been a keeper
saves
yet that has saved their team as much as him.
Yeah.
And he hasn't cost us yet. He hasn't made an error yet either. So, on that.
Did you see the game? Who was it? Was it the Chelsea Forest game? Both keepers kept him in it massively.
That's unreal.
They did good. But
Sanchez has been,
it's
like, the
one game
before,
in it. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's
for 2 goals and stuff. Like, over 6 games, I'm happy with Raya in there.
Yeah.
And I know I'm not going to have the same right back as you.
Why? Okay, right, let's go back 4.
Oh, wait.
I don't get, I'm a bit confused, but we'll go back 4.
One of you hates Trent.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah.
See, he wasn't even in like. That's why I was so confused, because I don't hate Trent.
Nah, you do.
I think Trent's good, but when everyone, no, I'm not getting into it now.
Well, I've got Trent.
I've got Trent in my team.
Really?
Yeah.
So,
He's got Trent away.
Okay, I'll tell you my back 4.
Didn't even think about it. That's mad.
I swear to God, that didn't even come in my head.
Wow.
I've actually gone Porro, Pedro Porro. He's been top, man. He's been so good.
Yeah, I do think he's very good, yeah.
Okay, but Trent, I can see how you've given it. Obviously, I just disagree.
That's fine.
Great.
No, I think Trent's been quality this season.
He's been
always backing for an assist. He's got this weird little cockiness now that seems to be helping his game. I don't think I think people say his defensive mistakes. I don't think he's made many of them.
Exactly. I think
he's not had many to make, if that makes sense. But they're defending all well, like all rounds, the whole team.
Yeah. Perhaps I just think with Trent, if you take out defensive errors, he now he's in the conversation for best right back in the league, in the world, if you take out the errors. And obviously that's a big if. We're going on form this season for team of the season, and he's taking them out. So I think it's fair to put him in.
Fair enough. Who have you gone 2 centre-backs?
I've gone Saliba and Van Dijk.
I've gone the same. Saliba, Van Dijk.
I've gone Gabriel and Saliba.
But really?
Yeah.
You know what? I was tempted to do Van Dijk and Konate. Because, look, they've got the best record at the moment in the league. Konate's been good, man. He has been good.
They still haven't played anyone that is over 9th in the league.
Yeah, well, that's not the question.
No, it's not the question. It's not the question.
No.
Konate, for me, is a solid defender, but I don't think offers anything else.
Yeah.
Van Dijk is one of the best defenders in the world.
Yeah, obviously.
Saliba, I think the same. I was tempted by Gabriel because of the goals.
Come on, man. Like, that is a...
He's just turned into a monster boat, like in every aspect of the word.
Yeah, just as good defensively, and then he's added those goals. That's why I put him in. Obviously, everyone's going to say Arsenal bias, but
no, but people know that centre-back partnership's like ridiculous. Even this season, you've seen it. So,
and normally I would wholeheartedly go Saliba and Gabriel, but just because Liverpool have the best defence in the league, you got to put one or two of them in there.
Who've you gone left back?
I've gone Vardiol.
Vardiol.
I've got Anthony Robinson.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, Robinson. Yeah. I've gone Calafiori.
Okay.
I don't know if that's...
He's played 3 games now.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's because of how my pre-thoughts on him and how much he's actually surprised me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Maybe that's put it in.
Yeah.
He's also like 21, isn't he?
Yeah, apparently.
But
He's
he's like every time he's played, his form is he has
Yeah,
played
yeah.
ridiculous. So I think it's a fair shout. I also get Guardiola's. He got a couple goals, hasn't he?
Yeah,
One goal.
yeah. And he's been fairly consistent.
Yeah, I just don't like giving a Man City player. You know.
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
just feel like
Yeah,
we kind of have to.
Yeah, I know. And
Robinson,
yeah.
Fulham. Yeah, I think he looks really lively, and I think there is probably a bit of US bias that you don't really expect many players from the US to be that great.
They literally call it soccer. So how
exactly. Yeah, so he's in there for me.
Okay, fair enough. Midfield. You gone midfield 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you gone like a specific one holding 2?
Nah.
Because I've gone a bit
Technically.
attacking with mine.
I've gone 1 holding, 2 attacking.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
I've gone
all over.
Flat
It's got 3 strikers in it.
Nah, I've gone Trossard, Palmer, and Gravenberch.
Trossard in the midfield.
Okay.
Yeah.
Trossard's a big shout, by the way.
It is a big
'Cause
shout.
I think there's a few that have played better than him. Like, I wouldn't even...
I get why, because he's adapted to that position so well. But I think there
Big
are
goals
better.
at big times as well. That's the only reason I've gone him.
Yeah.
You've gone and you...
I've done my 3?
Yeah.
I've done Gravenberch, Morgan Rogers, and Cole Palmer.
Gravenberch, Morgan Rogers.
Yeah.
Good shout, yeah. And
I
Palmer.
was very tempted by Rodgers.
He's been can play on the left as well.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I've put someone else in there. Rogers, I mean, turned Declan Rice and Party inside out when we played him. I know
First
we
game.
won,
Was it
but
first game or second?
Second
game, yeah.
That was when I was like, who is this and why is he so good?
Yeah.
So he's got to go in there. Palmer is obvious.
Palmer has to go in.
Maybe the
Palmer,
best 10 in
I'll
the
put
world
him
at the
on
minute,
midfield, yeah.
potentially. And in Gravenberch, I did not rate at all last season. But as I said earlier, your mind should be able to be changed. And he's been quality to the start of the season.
We've all got Gravenberch. We've all got Palmer. And then the
Yeah.
third one. So I've got Gravenberch, Palmer. I've gone Kulusevski. Because he's played deep. He's played in the midfield for Tottenham. He's been top, man. Like, they've put him in the middle, put him deeper. And he's running it more than Maddison.
I agree, but Tottenham haven't been very good. So that is why I can't...
Does that not make it? I still think his performances have been
If
worthy.
his performances have been good, like,
Yeah,
you could
okay.
argue. If anything,
Like, for me, I've thought he's been a lot better than Rodgers this year. But I
Really?
think Rodgers had a good start. And it was he done well against Arsenal. Is that stuck in your mind?
No,
Yeah,
because
probably.
not the
But I've
United game
seen-
because that wasn't good.
Yeah.
I can't remember who they played before that. Was it Ipswich? It might have been Ipswich. Again, he was quality.
Yeah. No, they're all fair shouts, but what, you're not
So
having
we've got
Kulusevski, no?
two consistent
I'm
ones.
not having him, but I think that because Tottenham have been poor.
Yeah, it's hard.
But
to
then
blame him.
I think, like you say, then he shines, doesn't he?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I get it.
Gravenberch as well, he's like a Trent that understands the midfield, like can play the midfield role, isn't he, really? That's what I look at him as.
Yeah, he's been really good.
Yeah, he's top. Palmer, obviously, has got to go in.
Yeah,
Front
ridiculous.
3?
I've gone Saka, Haaland, Diaz.
Diaz.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Lewis
I don't.
Diaz has been-
Yeah.
I've gone the exact same.
Yeah?
No
Yeah,
way.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have put Diaz in if I
Ball
was
knowledge.
picking a Liverpool player.
Ball knowledge.
Zero ball knowledge. Zero ball knowledge.
That's Trent and Diaz we've gone. You just hate Liverpool.
No, because I've got a Liverpool player in my honourable mentions.
Okay, that's fine. The reason I've gone Diaz is
I've got Gravenberch as well.
4 goals in 7 games
Yeah.
from left wing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Great, already great.
He's been a big part of them.
And again, I think he maybe past season's a little bit inconsistent.
Yeah.
But he's looking like
the
he's
start of this
yeah.
season, 7 games, banging in.
I went Saka, Haaland, and Brennan Johnson. Although he plays on the right normally.
You love Brendan Johnson, don't you?
He's only been good last 2 weeks though. Since the
he
North
scored,
London
he
derby.
scored
Social media.
5 and 5.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Last 2-3 since that North
5
London
weeks
derby.
or 4 weeks. Yeah.
He got to the point where he had to delete his socials.
Yeah.
Up until then,
But
he's been unreal since.
yeah, he has. He has
Tottenham
been.
He's been unreal since.
He has been. I know. I've got.
No, he's
that's
been
actually. I've got a couple of Tottenham players in actually.
You have, yeah.
I did have Semenyo there, but last couple
Semenyo's
of
been
weeks has
great.
not been as good. But he's just like.
He's been lovely.
I feel like it makes a bigger noise when you're producing
For a
performances
lesser
like
team,
that for a
yeah.
lesser team. If you're doing that in a Man City, it's
You're
less.
expected to, man.
It's less noise because the whole team's doing it really. So
Yeah, I don't hate Brendan Johnson's shout. He has been good recently, and I think maybe not that anyone should give him stick. Maybe that stick that he got has fired him up a bit, and he looks
or
good.
just the fact he's off social media has made it just
He's
clears
locked
your
in
mind.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, clears his mind. Doesn't
Yeah.
have to worry about any of those distractions. Just
Any? I think I've
Haaland is Haaland.
Yeah, Haaland.
Although, past few games.
Yeah, but it's
10 goals.
Stay humble.
Already,
Stay humble.
Yeah, stay humble. Crazy. Honourable mentions. I've got. There's 4 I wanted to give a shout out to.
I've got 5. Go on.
Konate, like I said earlier, for the reasons we mentioned. Kovacic, for how good he's been.
I was thinking
all season, pretty much now. Semenyo, who I mentioned, I could have put in. I changed him, and then I've actually got 6 honourable mentions.
Oh yeah,
I've got Jackson, Nicholas Jackson, Delap, and Ndidi.
I've got Jackson and Delap as well.
Yeah, Delap's been good, man.
man.
But it's just Ipswich are dead, so it's like.
But 4 goals in 7 games for Ipswich.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Unreal.
But you just can't put him ahead of Haaland.
No. And Jackson, like I said, was a donkey. Maybe not anymore.
Yeah, he's top now.
Jackson, honourable mention. The 2 Villa forwards, honourable mentions.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Ollie Watkins.
Both of them.
Ollie Watkins, an honourable mention.
He's got 4 and 7.
Has he?
Yeah.
You love Ollie Watkins.
He has.
This guy is like
He's
super fan.
If you're doing Aston Villa honourable mentions, John Duran.
I said both of them.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
I said
fine.
both Villa forwards.
John Duran scores just
Because he
worldies.
scored,
Off the bench.
and in limited minutes. So honourable mention to him as well. I was going to say Smith Rowe as an honourable mention. He's been decent,
good, but he's been good compared to doing nothing last year.
but in a Fulham side.
Yeah, but he's not. I still don't think he's been amazing. He's scored one.
He's got like 2 goals, 2 assists or something like that.
I think he's been
He's
good.
been alright.
I hate it.
Yeah, he's been alright. Yeah, he's been good.
I've got Duran.
And then Van Dijk as
go on.
well. I put as like that
Oh,
was
right,
the
yeah.
closest one for me.
That makes sense. As I said, Duran, Delap, and Jackson. I've also got Timber.
Yeah.
Can play both fullback positions. Centre mid
Yeah.
probably if you wanted to. Defender, centre back if you wanted to. And I think on the ball looks ridiculous. Got Rico Lewis again, multiple positions. Got a couple assists.
That's a good shout.
And Kyle Walker.
No.
Might be his time. No. As in.
Oh right.
So
I thought that was an honourable mention.
No way. Rico Lewis
about to
might
break
be
that phone.
Rico Lewis might have to slot into that right back spot.
Yeah, I agree.
Again, young English quality.
Yeah, I agree. And have you seen the stat with Jackson, by the way? It was like if you take out penalties.
Yeah, he's one
He's
of
like
the,
he's like second to Haaland. He's like one behind Haaland in goals for like the last over a period of time.
Yeah.
Shows how key penalties are.
Yeah, it does.
If he was on
Who
penalties,
he was
Palmer isn't.
isn't
If he was in Palmer, scored like 15 penalties.
Yeah.
Imagine
Ridiculous.
Jackson just took 10 of them.
Yeah,
You'd be talking in
That's
a
very true,
completely
yeah.
different. We'd be talking about him as like best in the world
yeah.
after Haaland and that. So, yeah.
I think they're all pretty fair. Teams.
I don't think there was any horror shouts in there.
Nah. Kulusevski raised eyebrows a bit.
I raised eyebrows about
Just 'cause you
Kulusevski
didn't
and
think of them,
Trossard in
isn't
midfield.
Yeah.
Just because that isn't their positions, and I think there are better in their positions. But again, that might, like I've said, I've given honourable mentions for people being able to play in different positions. So I get it. I'm just not a Tottenham fan. So.
Yeah. Well, listen, we'll leave it there. We'll come back next Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. I'm not sure who Arsenal have got, but it'll be after the international break, and we'll be reviewing the game coming up.